Hi, I'm Luke Metzger. I'm the Executive Director of Environment Texas, and I'd like to invite you to our Plastic Pollution Lobby Day this Friday, March 7th. Plastic pollution is a huge problem for Texas, littering our beaches, harming our wildlife and coastal economy, and even threatening our health. Join us this Friday to tell our lawmakers to act. You can visit environmenttexas.org to learn more and to sign up to attend.
That's this Friday, March 7th at the Texas State Capitol, Plastic Pollution Lobby Day with Environment Texas and other climate allies. Your support is needed. It's Wednesday, March 5th, 2025, and this is the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch. Rapid response on the breaking news stories Texas progressives need to know. I'm Chris Mosier. So did you watch the Trump speech last night? I wouldn't blame you for a second if you skipped it, but then again, at this historic moment for our country, it's important for active progressive folks to have our eyes open and to, as objectively as we can, understand what we're up against. A handful of takeaways from last night's event, and I don't do this often, but I want to emphasize this particular morning that these are my personal takes, not necessarily those of our organization as a whole. First, huge pride in the fact that the one Democrat to truly, literally stand up to Donald Trump last night is a Texan. Allison Ackerman at the Houston Chronicles piece contains a truly iconic picture of Houston Congressman Al Green standing alone, pointing his cane at Donald Trump. Green stood defiantly in the face of jeers from the Republican side of the chamber and admonishments from House Speaker Mike Johnson for Green to sit down until Johnson ordered Green removed from the event by the sergeant at arms. I found myself cheering out loud as Green walked out shouting at Trump, quote, "You don't have a mandate," unquote. And at that moment, the shouts of protest from other Democrats in the room made me think we were about to see an open rebellion in the Congress. I wanted them all to take turns standing and being ejected one by one, which unfortunately, most definitely did not happen. There were a handful of Democrats who removed their jackets to reveal T-shirts emblazoned with resistance slogans before walking out. Many of the Democratic Congresswomen wore pink in solidarity, but Al Green's defiant stand did not inspire nor appears to have been part of any true showing of solidarity and opposition against Donald Trump's ongoing dismantling of the federal government, nor the deep irony of all of this happening in the same building that was raided by Trump's supporters 4 years ago on January 6, 2021. The color coordination and the ping pong paddles were, once again, in my personal opinion, a grossly insufficient meeting of the moment by congressional Democrats, and compared to the celebration of the Donald Trump-Elon Musk assault on America happening on the other side of the room, I think did very little to persuade anyone to rally to the Democratic side. I personally am deeply disappointed by how last night went down, and I have little patience for elected Democrats who boycotted the event either, including Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Chris Murphy, both of whom are important voices we need to hear loud and clear against what's happening. As someone who works in the progressive messaging space, I gotta say, before I get off this soapbox here, we have a long way to go. Progressives want defiance against Trump, and at a moment when millions of Americans are worried about what's coming next, we simply didn't see enough defiance from the Dems last night. And lastly, to repeat, super proud of Congressman Al Green, who, despite health and mobility challenges, literally stood up to the man last night. I send Mr. Green my deepest respect and gratitude this morning. Most of us, by the way, will remember this, but it's worth repeating. Congressman Green showed up about a year ago in February of 24 in a wheelchair and hospital gown in that same room to vote against the impeachment of then Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, who you might recall was being targeted by the Republicans over the Biden administration's border policies. This is a guy who knows how to make a statement, and the rest of the Democratic delegation should be taking notes. As I descend from my soapbox here, I must point out that other Texans in D.C. are definitely individually doing all they can to fight back. A new piece on Congressman Greg Casar of Austin taking on Texas transplant Elon Musk. Catherine Wilson at the Texas Tribune notes that Casar, who represents the district where Tesla's largest factory is located, is actively condemning Musk's efforts to gut the federal government at the same time that his companies are gorging themselves on federal contracts. But all of this actually goes way back to Casar's time on the Austin City Council when he actively opposed Tesla's request for municipal tax breaks, questioning the company's reputation for shoddy worker safety and low pay. Sure enough, Since it opened in 2022, the Tesla Gigafactory in Austin has repeatedly come under public scrutiny as several workers have filed complaints against the company over dangerous working conditions. Kassar has highlighted also the death of an electrician on the property last summer, as we told you. Congressman Kassar has been lately campaigning for Elon Musk to be fired from his current status as a so-called special government employee, a status that eludes congressional oversight while granting Musk unprecedented leeway to upend the processes of a growing list of federal agencies. At the state level, the leadership of the Texas Democratic Party moving into this critical phase is being decided as several candidates compete to become the state party's next chair. The Texas Progressive Caucus announced yesterday their endorsement of Kendall Scudder, Progress Texas podcast regular and both current vice chair for finance of the TDP and a member of the Dallas Central Appraisal District's board of directors. Scudder took 46% of the ranked choice votes top selections, won a majority of Texas Progressive Caucus members in the first round of voting, and also pulled in majority support from the county chairs and the Texas State Democratic Executive Committee members who took their survey. The annual Amplify Austin Day charity and nonprofit fundraiser starts tonight, Wednesday the 5th at 6, and continues through tomorrow night, Thursday night at 6. If you're a fan of this podcast, know that funds raised via Amplify Austin this year will directly support our podcast production efforts. That's my department, so thanks for that. But honestly, the best way for you to support us at Progress Texas in our ongoing work is to become a regular monthly contributor, and no amount is too small. Even 10 or 20 bucks a month adds up huge for us. ProgressTexas.org/donate and find the direct link to our page at Amplify Austin in the show notes. We appreciate the support very much, however it comes, and we shout out Leslie O'Laughlin, Sherry Grusendorf, and Elizabeth Francisconi, all of whom have joined the team lately. We appreciate all of you very, very much. That's the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch for this Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. Links to all these original stories can be found in our show notes. Progress Texas is a nonprofit rapid response media organization promoting progressive messages and actions. While campaigns come and go, we're the permanent home for progressive media in action in the Lone Star State. I'm Chris Mosier. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow.